The Lord is spirit, but the spirit gives life. Welcome back to the contemporary spirituality part 8. The next chapter of this presentation, we see here a beautiful image with Jesus in the background as a light, yeah. And I'm thinking on a song from Brazil. It's called "It's Raining, It's Dark, but I'm Singing." It's darkness, but I'm singing. Yeah, and it expresses for me, even if it's dark outside, even we can sing, we can be happy because we have the light in our heart. Yeah, the truth, and that can make us happy, whatever happens. Maybe that's an expression of this image. Here is a system based on the thoughts of Ken Wilber and written in a book in Germany from Mr. Küstenmacher. I know him from when I was young. Yeah, he was my leader in a group. By the way, he divided the development of mankind in nine levels. And each level has a specific, let's say, pattern. Yeah, let's start with the first level, God 1.0, is the archaic level, or the will to survive. Yeah, and this time the most important thing is to survive. Yeah, to have enough to eat. The physical needs are dominant, pre-verbal. Yeah, very old time. The 2.0 magical animistic level of ancestral spirits and clan. People are living in clans, start to live in clans. Magical in a magical world. And he has written projective magical. Yeah, this is also a long time ago. I think that we have this, but still we have this clans. That means some elements of this time is still good and present. Not all is bad. It's, let's say, that mankind is based on this background, yeah, and we still have the positive pattern, the positive elements of this development level. Egocentric level of power gods and fighters. In this time, human get no egocentric. We are still on that level, but in this time, the power gods are very dominant. It's linked to the color red. You see, each level has a specific color, yeah, and a specific characteristic. Fighters is this time is characterized by these fighters. God 5.0, absolute level of truth and values. Now the absolute truth is coming up. Yeah, values are always present for sure. God 5.0, rational level of pursuit and research. Now the ratio is coming very dominant, pushing away magical and magical, let's say, behavior from before. And we made many development in this time, technological, scientific, and so on. So this ratio of human is a very precious resource. But not only the ratio, the next level is relativistic level of social responsibility. We're coming to social responsibility. Not everybody is on this level, but we should come on this level to develop us, to grow up, yeah, that we also have a social responsibility. 7.0, integrative level, multi-perspective. Now we are able to have a multi-perspective, that there is no absolute truth, there's only relative truth. We can live with that. We integrate other ways of thinking, other ways of living. You can see it's coming more on a global level now. And this is number 7. Flexibility and flow, integral, universal common good, or pattern of this level. Yeah, and the next one is integral holistic level of global networking, like Facebook and so on. Global networking, maybe in the background idea was to bring the mankind together in a global community. And this is maybe the time where we are now. We are thinking globally, we act locally, and it's good that we are thinking globally because we have common problems, and this development level we should be with responsibility, not only thinking on our goals, on our egoistic let's say views, but to think globally. And the number 9 is not known already. It's another stage where we will come, let's say, world family, something like that. The world as a organism, yeah, as a global organism. That's the final where we should come, and then it's healthy. Then we are fulfilled with what makes up a good organism, a healthy organism. Now we're jumping to a way for spiritual development, and fasting is one way of spiritual experience and development. Our religion traditions and wisdom teachers have repeatedly emphasized the importance of fasting. Buddha, Jesus, and many others fasted for a long time. Is this also possible to ensure enlightenment? Maybe one way. Fasting cleans the body thoroughly. It prevents diseases. I fasted for 40 days. I only had a soup twice a day. Nevertheless, all blood values and everything was excellent. Excellent. No deficiency symptoms. In this time, I practiced physical and mental discipline as a good learning process, self-confidence. We need much less sleep. I don't need to sleep so long. We have a lot more time for activities than time for food preparation, and eating food is lost. More time is available. Tiredness during the day disappears completely. Flow-like emotional states came up. You're no longer afraid of the future because you know that you can go without eating for a while. After that, you eat more consciously. The food tastes much better. Spiritual activities are possible for longer and with more concentration. Spiritual development and intensification happened. Ending the fasting together can be a nice social event, as the Islamic people can tell you. So this is my personal experience, and I try to make it every year with a good feeling and a good result. Spiritual healing. Yes, I think it's possible. Spiritual healing. Learning to heal through laying of the hands on is one of the oldest methods of healing humanity. Mind and soul are a part of our wholeness. This is where spiritual healing is taking place. The space surrounding us, the universe, is filled with endless and inexhaustible energy. This natural healing flows through the hands in a powerful and concentrated form. Either make this energy available to yourself or by third parties. It increases the self-healing power. The application works on people, animals, plants, and things. Reiki works on a physical, mental, and spiritual level. Reiki is this technique for spiritual healing. It serves to restore the balance between body, mind, and soul. My mother prays and says, Yeshua, that's the original name of Jesus. And she also calls the spirit the name Ruach, which means Holy Spirit, Ruach. I tried it with my daughter successfully in combination with homeopathics. And let's say both is a kind of information medicine. You give the body information homeopathics, physically, or by prayer. It's also information from your thoughts. You transmit the information to the other one or to yourself, a good information or a bad information. And we know that it works also in the medicine. Only by thinking you can change the way you're healing dramatically. We call this placebo and nocebo. Nocebo is a negative. And do animals also have a soul? If you have a dog, I think yes, they have the same feelings. They are happy, they are sad, and so on. Anyone who has a dog can share this. They have the same vibrations like we do have. Also, high intelligence has been proven with animals. Is it clear that the soul or partial soul is incarnated there too? Many wisdom teachers assume that this soul will incarnate in humans at some points. Okay, first at animals, later on at humans, maybe the same soul. Is this why Indians are often vegetarian and so careful and very careful with animals, especially cows? There are 4 animal species from which a soul can transmit to human. One of them is this ape. So it's not really wrong to say that we descend from monkeys, because there is a transmission of the soul from monkeys, elephants, dogs, and cats. I don't know. There are 4 species. I don't know exactly which one, which the next incarnation will be human. But what do we do with the monkeys? We destroy their habitat. Or with factory farming. How many animals are tortured? The children are taken away shortly after birth, and the cows suffer terribly. We cause a lot of suffering to animals, which, according to the law of karma, comes back to us. Is that why a lot of illness can be traced back to eating too much meat, such as cancer, heart and circulatory diseases, etc.? According to a study from Loma Linda University in California, the life expectancy of vegetarian is 9.5 years longer than the one of meat eaters, compared with meat eaters. 9.5 years. Longer life. Imagine. But this is not very... People don't know it because it's not in the media. Jesus expressly spoke out in favor of treating animals with dignity. He spoke of brothers and sisters, and he was against eating meat. However, this passage had been removed of the instructions of Jesus. Since I became aware of this, I've been more or less vegetarian and still very healthy and strong. I'm almost never sick. The friend of God. The friend of God. This is a nice text from Elias Canetti. The friend of God never has to ask himself what is right. He looks up in the book of books. There he finds everything he needs. He has a back support there. He leans on his diligently and strongly. Whatever he wants to do, God signs it. He finds the sentences he needs. He finds them in his sleep. He doesn't need to worry about contradictions. He listens to the voice of his heart and ignores a lot of things which doesn't suit to him. He ignores what is of no use to him and gets stuck in indisputable sentence. He absorbs it forever until he achieves what he wants with its help. But then, when life goes on, he finds someone else. The friend of God trusts the past and calls it to help him. He takes the embers with him, but not the ashes. The fire, but not the ash. Some things from modern times are superfluous. You can get without it very well. People want to know a clear answer and one that stays the same. And wavering answers are no use. Answers are changing. There are different sentences for different questions. Someone should ask him a question to which he could not find a suitable answer. Everything is buried in the book of books or in his own heart. More in his own heart. Or you ask himself, how would Jesus act? And he's already certain. The friend of God leads a regular life and wastes no time. When the world collapses around him, he has no doubts. The one who set them up will save them from destruction at the very last moment. It happens as it has to do, so that people learn. And if she cannot be saved, he will rebuild her after the destruction. Most perish because they do not listen to these words. But those who listen to this word go not really ruined. The friend of God was saved from every danger. Thousands fell around him, but there's nothing ever happened to him. Doesn't that mean anything? Because he knows that angels accompany him, and all he has to do is to call them. And then he floats through the dangers as if wrapped in a cocoon. The friend of God in his humility takes no credit for this. He knows the stupidity of them, people, and feels sorry for them. They could have it so much easier, but they don't want to. They think they live in freedom and have no idea how much they are really enslaved to themselves. The friend of God is healthy and strong because he pays attention. He takes care of his body and his appearance to the delight of his friend. He usually lives in a great joy and cheerfulness, based on the ideas from Elias Canetti. I changed it a little bit. The Aramaic, Our Father, Mother. It's a prayer. And there are different translations and versions from this Aramaic prayer in the language in which Jesus taught. Father and Mother of the cosmos, source of love, prepare the space of heart within us, so that we experience your light and your sound in peace. Your reality reveals itself. You desire a heaven and earth that we discover your love in ours. Give us day by day what we need in terms of bread and insight. Loosens the bonds of our mistakes, and we release what binds us to the entanglement and guilt of others. Lead us into temptation. Protect us from false desires and deliver us from error and evil. For yours is the kingdom of love and peace, the fullness of life and the sound of the cosmos, which renews everything from world time to world time. I affirm all this with my entire being. The laws of God 1 and 2, extra biblical sources. Unfortunately, God's true law code no longer exists on this earth. It was burned thousands of years ago. Here is the original text of the 7 commandments. Decide yourself about true or not. In the beginning there was a force without space. It was the Logos, the highest intelligence. You are unable to make this power and intelligence understandable through any You are not allowed to make your own observations about it, but rather recognize this intelligence as your creator, using your own mind and feelings. Annotations: you shouldn't form an image of God. He exceeds our horizon. However, we can perceive the reflection of the Creator in nature and our fellow human beings. You must not act against the laws of nature, because you are not only damaging yourself and your soul, but also many of your descendants, who can no longer be helped in any way if you have damaged God's intelligent creation. You bear full responsibility for every suffering on this earth. If we really feel this in our heart, we will be very careful with all the species around us. You must have not mock or persecute your Creator, even if you cannot understand or grasp Him with your own and underdeveloped mind, because you are not more but less than God. Therefore, do not defile His name or associate it with your own thinking. Do not criticize the Logos, because He is infallible due to His infinite experience and immeasurable power. We should avoid hubris. The Spirit of God is infallible, but humans are. So obey the instructions of your Creator. Be tirelessly active, both in thoughts and in action, but know that thou represents the greatest power and the highest inheritance of God. Your thought is immeasurable and in its impact. Think of your Creator with all your reverence, both in the procreation of your offspring and in the shaping of all things, and create everything only for the good and never to dishonor God and yourself. Respect the tireless diligence of the Creator and respect the work of your fellow human beings who serve creation with a sweet for the glory of God. Make no distinction between rich and poor, people young and old, or between colors of human. Honor the experience and respect the suffering. Listen to the advice of your parents if they believe in God, the Creator. Without this faith you may be rich, but you can never be happy, satisfied, much less blessed. Your Creator desires that you respect life throughout the world as His power. You have no right to decide over the life of another human being. Fight opposing creation and life-destroying. Do not kill any animal for your pleasure, but only to preserve and secure your own life. Dominating others is absolutely not allowed. This also includes the children. We should not ignore the negative, but we should transform it. Do not harm any fellow human beings, neither in body nor in soul, nor in their reputation or in the goods they have earned. Do not harm him in his development, neither in his love nor in his freedom, but help him always in all these things without waiting for thanks. But make your contribution to the Jews and to the preservation of all institutions that promote your life, your health, and your intellectual and spiritual development. The religious of the Mitaryas. This is where this text is coming from. We also have reports from other spirit beings from other planets. Spirituality consists in living what every person carries in their heart, consciously or unconsciously, namely their connection to God. Don't allow yourself to be drugged any longer, but rather perceive yourself as what you are really, children of one Father who loves and encompasses everything that contains life. You can remove the word death from your vocabulary. It doesn't exist. We live forever. The guiding principle is love, and therefore they are closely connected to the bearer of this quality, Jesus Christ. His voluntarily undertaken mission includes the return of all fallen spirits being to their true home. The Bible depicts this event with the image of the expulsion from paradise. The services on Metaria, which are held to worship the Creator, are likely a ceremony in which the chorus form the framework. A common prayer of thanks that unites with the rejoicing of the spiritual brothers and sisters. This happens without any external ceremony. The climax is the unification of the siblings from both levels of existence into a Te Deum, and the answer through one. Okay, thank you for today. Some more impulses about contemporary spirituality. Wish you a good time and see you next time. Bye bye.